Hey everyone, good morning. It's Rebecca Undum, and this is Rebecca Undum Live. For those of you that are new to me, I am the author of a book called How Mommy Got Her Groove Back, and founder of the online group coaching program called Groove School. I live in the middle of nowhere in a little rural community in North Dakota, and I help women try to live fulfilling great lives. Basically, Rebecca Undum Live is a weekly live Facebook show every Monday at 9 a.m. Central. And we cover different topics really just to help you love yourself, love your people, and ultimately love your life better. My whole thing is I love helping women learn how to bloom where they're planted. Because having moved back to my rural community was a bit of a shock initially. And 3 kids and a couple of career switches later, I find myself feeling like I'm blooming, like I figured it out. So welcome, 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 especially if you're new. So before we get into today's topic, which is all about delaying gratification, or really on the same token, developing patience, why that's so important when you're chasing a goal. Every single week, I give away at least 1 signed copy of my book. Last week, I gave away 3. I don't know. I was super generous last week. I was feeling good about, July being over or something. So this last week, if you missed the live, we talked about perfectionism and what a seriously sucky trap that is to fall into. And I said that I would give away a book. I would do a drawing from the people who commented. So I'm going to just show you the names. I've got them all written down here on little sticky notes so you know that you're in there. So I might butcher your last name. I apologize if I do, but you know who you are, right? So we've got Teresa Reverman. We've got Stephanie, I think it's Jade Key, or I'm not sure it's Steph, if it's Jade Key or Jad Key. We've got Crystal Lytle. I'm sure, well, you can't really see him, can you? Crystal Lytle. I want you to see that they're actually written there. Maddie Lukes. Michelle Asheman, and Kristen NC. Okay, so I'm just going to quick do a little flip, and I'm going to draw one of these names, and whoever I pick is going to get a book. So we've got Michelle Asheman. I will tag you in this. Congratulations. Once you see that you acknowledge that you are my winner, all you have to do is private message me your address, and I will send you a signed copy of the book. So thank you all for joining me again today. So today's topic, this is an important one. And again, it's one of those things, I come to these realizations myself, and then I always feel like, gosh, I can't be the only person that's ever felt this. So that's when they become topics. This is actually a topic straight out of the companion book, which I'll post the link at the end. So this is a workbook that I wrote as a companion to How Mommy Got Her Groove Back. How Mommy Got Her Groove Back is actually a memoir. This workbook is like more of the strategy, tactical stuff that accompanies it. There's basically 14 topics. And what we're tackling today is one of them. One of the ones actually featured in the workbook. So at the end, I will post the link to the workbook so you can get a copy for free. It'll be a downloadable PDF that you can get. Okay. All right. So here's kind of how this lack of patience has manifested for me and what it's made me do. And sometimes it's caused me to fall short of my goals, miss my opportunities. And as you join, ladies, I would love a hey girl, hey, like tell me if you're here. It would be super awesome to see who's on with me today, this morning. So in the guide, I'm not going to tell the entire story, but in the guide, I was talking about the fact that I had this long, arduous process that I was going through one summer, and it was to repair lawn spots in my yard. So we have a neighbor, and they had a dog, and hey Mavis, and their dog went to the bathroom in my yard a bunch of times. Hey, Mindy, it's good to see you this morning. So I had and I think it was 103. It was over 100. It was like 103 spots that I was repairing. And if you've ever done that, I don't know if any of you have actually done spot restoration like that on a lawn, but it takes a lot of time. So you dig up every spot. You put some, there's different granular things you can put down to get the acidity of the urine out of your lawn. I mean, it's just crap, it's ridiculous. So I was out there, I'd done all this. I had, fixed all the spots, and then you have to not mow around those spots. So I had the longer it went, like the 2 weeks that had gone by while this grass was starting to sprout, it got worse and worse and worse and uglier and uglier and uglier. And I got pissier and pissier and pissier about it. I was so annoyed because I was just like, oh. And as I thought about, like, why is it that I'm struggling so much? Like, obviously this is a process. Like, you've got to have sun. And if God doesn't rain on your lawn, then you got to water these spots. Like, there's a process to getting grass to grow, right? Like, I'm not dumb, not a green thumb, but I get this. So I'm like, why am I so agitated that it's taking so long? And I laughed at myself, like, well, of course, like I am a person that is severely lacking in patience. I've always been impatient. And like, if I want it yesterday. So impulsivity and a lack of patience has kind of always been something that I've struggled with. And so I started thinking about, like, how does a person develop patience? Well, luckily for us, for all of us, patience is like a muscle. And just last week, I shared a video that was really, it's personal to me because, so I was talking just about the fact that so a lot of us have experienced pain in our muscles, that crazy soreness that you get if you push your muscles really hard in a workout. The next day, usually everything is just sore, right? And you can barely move. And we tend to welcome that kind of pain. We welcome it because we know it means that we're getting stronger and we're getting better. Well, all that pain is the muscle actually tearing. You push your muscles beyond what they're capable of, and they will tear. They're small tears, they're intentional tears. They'll come back, they'll heal, and with that comes strength. Well, the same is with our feelings. We're much less likely to embrace the pain of feelings. It's also the same with patience. Patience is a muscle, and it can be exercised, and it can be pushed. We just have to dig deep, and a lot of times it's fighting a lot of internal impulses. For me, like, again, I'm impulsive, and I want things right now. So what I did and this was a few years ago, because I was pregnant with our daughter, who will be 3 next month, I actually recreated the Stanford marshmallow experiment with my 2 boys. So I'm looking at, 3 years ago, they would have been 3 and 5 years old. And it's actually really funny. I will post the link to it's a hidden link on my YouTube channel. I'll show it to you if you guys care to watch it. It's so damn cute. And if you've ever heard of that marshmallow experiment, they talked about, so back in the day, I think it was in the 70s, a few researchers were trying to determine the effects of impulsivity, really, in long-term success for people. So they did this experiment where they had young test subjects, like 3 and 4-year-olds. And basically what they did was they said, here's 2 marshmallows. They put them on the table, and they said, they have nothing else to do, nothing else to play with. They're just sitting there with these marshmallows. And the researchers, they were gone for 15 minutes. I was gone, I think, for like 3, because my kids were really little, younger even, I think, than some of the test subjects. But basically they said, if you can wait until we come back, you get both marshmallows. Or if you want to eat it now, you just get 1. So they didn't put both there. I think they actually only put 1. I don't remember exactly. But bottom line is, all they did was watching to see which kids had the patience and could delay the gratification sitting in the presence of their treat that they really wanted. And then they tracked the success of these kids over time, finding that most of the ones that just snarfed down their marshmallows, which I swear to you probably would have been me, fared worse overall in life, like didn't do as well in their ACT scores and stuff. So it's been this thing that really is important. And especially in our society now, it's even gotten worse. Like, we are so impatient. I actually have a really good friend, and I'm not going to call her out, but we were just talking. She got so freaking irritated with Sam's Club and their click and pull service, because they suck at it, which fair enough. But I kind of laughed to myself, like, we don't even have to pick out our groceries anymore, right? So when it comes to starting something new, like, I am always trying to get better with my health. So if I take on a new health regimen, this is where it comes into play for me. Or let's say you start a new business, or you try any new goal of something that you're trying to practice. If the results don't come right away, what do you do? Do you get angry? Do you get frustrated? Do you cut and run? Do you quit? Do you fall off the wagon and then feel crappy about yourself? If that's the case, then we need to talk about, how do we develop patience? How do we stretch this muscle so we can wait? Because things take time, okay? So here's kind of what I discovered. And this was really born out of this video that I took of my children that was really funny. So I will share that with you. If you want to watch it, you totally can. So in my experiment, and I always say, like, I'm not a researcher, so don't give me crap about like the variables and the controls and all that stuff. I literally was just trying to see if I could glean some things about what patience really looks like. So the first thing is, it's really important to always keep your larger goal in front of you. Because I think the thing that we tend to think is that if we have a really great process or a really great plan, that nothing's ever going to go wrong, or that the results will come just naturally because the plan's so damn great. Well, I hate to tell you or break it to you, but that is 100% not true, right? If you've ever tried anything, you're going to have good days, you've got bad days. And when you have a really crappy day, having that larger goal in front of you keeps you from being completely derailed by just a bad moment or a bad minute or a bad day, a bad week. So in the video, I had both of the marshmallows in front of my boys. Like they could see what the ultimate goal would be if they would wait. Instead of just having one there, they saw both of them. And how this translates in our lives is, this is why I'm such a proponent of having a vision board, having a vision statement, knowing what it is that you want in your life. Because otherwise we get distracted. We get overwhelmed by things going on around us. It's really hard to stay focused on what it is that you want unless you keep it in front of you. So whatever it is that you're working on, one of the ways to develop patience is to keep it in front of you in some way, shape, or form. If it's a vision board, fine. If it's just a goal, if it's a sticky note, if it's a string around your wrist, sometimes that's all it is. Like in the past, I've worked with clients or people that are trying to not complain. So literally all they do is they put like a rubber band around their wrist. And as soon as they start to have a negative thought or they start to complain, they can physically see it, and it reminds them not to complain about things. We really just need cues. That's how we're wired. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing is to make sure that you are surrounded by people that are actually going to support the pursuit of your goal. Now, I think, again, like at first glance, that sounds so obvious and so almost cliche. Like, well, obviously, you don't want to surround yourself with people that sabotage you. But man, oh man, do we do that? Because we don't really think about it. We don't think about the fact that the people around us, every little thing they say, every little nuanced comment that they make about what it is that we're doing, it affects the way that we think about it. So in the video, my little Carter he wasn't even yet 3 when I did this experiment. And I'm fully convinced that had my older son not been sitting beside him, Carter would have shoved both of those marshmallows in his mouth as fast as he could. There's this moment, it's the cutest thing. There's this moment where Carter's like, he's so little. It just makes my heart happy. If you know my children, any of you that are watching, you'll love this little video. But there's this moment where he's like staring at him, just like that. And his older brother's like, don't touch him. Like they couldn't even touch him or they wouldn't get him, right? So it really is about having people in your corner walking the walk with you that are reminding you. So like if you have a slump, you have a moment where things aren't going well, that you can turn to that person and say, holy crap, like maybe I shouldn't be pursuing this. And they'll remind you why you started. They'll remind you that everyone has bad days or bad moments. We all need to be surrounded by people that want to support our goals. And we need to be super cognizant of the fact that not everybody in your world actually does. Because there are people, even the ones that they claim to love us, sometimes they don't want us to succeed because they don't want to be outshone. Sometimes they don't want us to succeed because it shows them what they're not capable of, or, sometimes it's worthiness crap for themselves. There's all sorts of reasons, but it's so important to make sure that you're surrounded by people that really want to see you succeed and will not do anything to sabotage your success. And then the third thing that we can do when we're chasing something big, a big goal, a big pursuit, and we're feeling like the results aren't coming fast enough. Honestly, this is back from my Dale Carnegie days. This is a Dale Carnegie principle of what to do to eliminate stress and worry. It's the same kind of thing, right? So this is such a common experience with the new diet plan or weight regimen. If you are married to the stupid number on your scale every single day, maybe you get on that damn scale and it's either not moving fast enough, or when you first start doing weight training, the number goes back up and you feel defeated and you feel sucky and you feel like everything is terrible. The best thing that we can do is just get busy. Like, get busy doing the things that support what you're trying to achieve, and recognize that literally it's action that gets us out of that mindset that nothing's going well. And this is kind of what I talked about with perfectionism too. It's when we try to do something so perfectly, or we wait to start doing something until it's absolutely perfect. First of all, we can't learn anything because we're not moving forward. We're not doing anything. And really, secondly, it's action that is aligned with what we're trying to pursue. So if it's a vision that we've got or a big goal that we've got in front of us, any action you take towards that feels good. It feels motivating because it's inspired action. It's not just busy work. So when I say get busy, I don't mean just pick up a bunch of random shit and start doing a bunch of busy stuff. That's hamster on a wheel mentality. I'm talking about thinking about what could I do right now that would move me closer to that goal. And as far as health, all I'll say with that too is that you've got to celebrate the little wins along the way as well. Because I think with health, we so often it's tied to something really specific, like getting into a certain size dress or a certain number on the scale. And if you have done a workout that was really hard, why are we not just celebrating the fact that our body we were able to push our bodies to do it? Like, why are we not celebrating just the sheer fact that we've pushed ourselves and we've accomplished something that we couldn't do before, instead of always tying it to that result of the number or the dress size or the whatever. So the other thing with patience, while you're trying, waiting for your results to come, is to celebrate the little victories. Yeah, Ashley, right? Hamster on a wheel is laundry, 100%. Don't just start doing a bunch of laundry. Unless, of course, your goal is to have zero laundry, which I feel bad for you because you'll reach it and then someone will put on some clothes. I can't convince my kids to be nudists. Well, I probably could my kids, not so much me or my husband. But so this whole thing with patience is just to recognize that anything worthy of pursuit probably isn't going to come quickly. And so it's all about training our brains, training our minds to endure kind of that ramp up as things start to happen. I can tell you, for me, the business that I'm running, my God, has it been like this? Like, I never thought it would be so hard. I never thought that it would take so long. I never thought that, finding people, I seriously, it's not that I thought I was so awesome. I just didn't think it was going to be as hard as it is. And had I not been just dead set on what I'm trying to do, and I wasn't constantly reminded and surrounded by great people, by the way, that believe in me, that want me to see it through, that are here for me, I probably would have cut and run. Because sometimes the wait is agonizing, but these are 3 simple things that we can do to strengthen that muscle. And again, it feels a lot like the tears in physical muscle. They hurt a little bit. And recognizing that, leaning into that discomfort of that pain of waiting, or that emotional pain, means that we're getting stronger. And with patience, the thing that we're specifically getting is grit and perseverance. And that's really such an underlooked and underestimated, undervalued thing, grit and perseverance, because you can be wickedly talented, and if you don't have stick-to-itiveness or perseverance, you won't last. So really think today about what it is that you're endeavoring to do, whatever it is, and think about these 3 simple things. So I'll remind you again. So keeping your larger goal in front of you is the first thing. Making sure you're always reminding yourself why you're doing what you're doing. Secondly is really taking stock of who you've got surrounding you. Are these people really in your court, or do they say they're in your court and then continually do things to undermine your success? So much more common than we maybe want to admit. And then the third is to just get busy. Start doing little things that will push you and move you towards that goal. And then also just, I think, recognizing that it's going to hurt a little bit, and that this is like a muscle and you can get stronger and better. Okay, so for the book giveaway today, I would love to hear any stories of a time where you really, really struggled with patience, like you really struggled, or maybe you quit too early and then realize that it was too early? Or can you think of it even at, maybe it's something right that you're going through right now, where you see this in yourself, this inability to want to just be patient or to delay the gratification, or you're expecting results right now, okay? So throw some things in the comments, and next week on Rebecca Undum Live, I'll give away a copy of the book. I'll do it right now. I can do it while we're talking here. Here is the link to the workbook, so you can get a copy of the Groove Finders Guide series for free. That should be popping up in the comments there. And as always, I appreciate everybody that joins me on these. And if you ever have questions for me or topics you'd love to see us tackle on Rebecca Undum Live, or in a blog post or whatever, all you got to do is reach out to me. And if you haven't joined my free Groove Seekers group on Facebook, I would love to have you. It's just, again, it's a place for connection. If you're really chasing something significant, check out Groove School. If you go straight to RebeccaUndum.com, you can get the information for Groove School right there. Again, surrounding yourself with the right people is largely what this is about, and being around people that also are chasing big goals. They tend to support each other differently than people that are not. So check those things out. Let me know what you think. Go grab a copy of your book, your workbook, comment on patience and how that affects you, and maybe you'll get a free signed copy of my memoir. And that's what I've got for you today. So as you are chasing these big goals, just remember that patience is a virtue. You maybe heard that before. And it is something that can be strengthened, and it's so worth it, because results, if they're good and they're worthy of pursuit, they probably won't be immediate. Okay? Thanks everyone so much for watching. And as always, until I see you again, groove on everybody.